Do orangutans fall in love? It's a very interesting question. First of all, I just want to clarify, when we're talking about falling in love, I'm talking about the romantic love that people experience, not the universal love, which I talk about being the basis for selfless work for conservation and the welfare of other living beings. So in order for me to best describe whether this happens in orangutans or not, it may be important for me to describe the process in the human race. Now, because humans are bipedal, both men and women to a lesser extent have to have very narrow hips for efficient bipedal movement. Now, the side effect of this is that giving childbirth is extremely difficult and dangerous for a female human. In addition to that, in order to get the fetus and the baby through the birth canal, human infants are born a lot more immature than other primates, and which means both the mother and baby need a lot of support in order for that baby to survive. So much so that if the actual or perceived support isn't there, female humans will experience a non-bonding with their infants, when we call this postnatal depression, which in nature allows them to walk away without emotional trauma from raising an infant that is not possible because the female hasn't got enough support from a male-bonded male or the larger tribal community. So in order for females to successfully raise infants, they need to pair bond with a human male. And this gives them that immediate support that they need through the critical birth and child-rearing period. And we call this falling in love. And people fall in love, and the endorphins come out, and they become extremely well connected. This usually lasts about 5 to 7 years. And the reason why it's 5 to 7 years is after 5 and 7 years, the infant is normally semi-independent within the community. And so the human female doesn't need as much support and may want to choose a different mate. Of course, in modern terms, infants take a lot longer to become independent with education, etc. So you often have the usual scenario where a couple say they stay together for the kids. Of course, many couples, after the endorphins of the pair bonding disappear after 5 or 7 years, actually discover they like each other and they live with each other the rest of their life, which is obviously a wonderful thing. Now, with orangutans, it's very different because they don't have this difficult birth. The infants are born relatively mature compared to a human. And in fact, having a male around actually reduces their infant's chance of survival because they're eating up food resources, because they don't have any natural predators, so they don't need a male for protection or support. They just need them to get out of there so they can raise the infant with maximum food supply. So they kind of come together in a consortium, and I've certainly seen females aptly enamored with big cheek flanger males, especially the young ones. They just think this is a fantastic thing on the planet, and they just can't get enough of these big cheek flanger males. But I guess we can call it more lust than love, because as soon as she's pregnant, and they just dissipate right away. So it's a very short-lived period of, in some sense, romantic love. In fact, unlike most other primates, female orangutans have a vulvar dilation when they get pregnant, which signals to the male and all other males in the area that she can no longer be receptive because she's already pregnant. And this helps give all the males to keep away, there's no interest there, and that maximizes the food resources within her territory. So do orangutans fall in love? Well, maybe they fall in lust and they have a very short romantic consortships with the male, but as soon as they're pregnant, they like to live alone and become single mothers, which is good because, in my opinion, orangutans are the best mothers I have ever seen.